James Gunn reveals how he approached the character of Superman, and it is vastly different from Zack Snyder's take on the superhero. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn is currently busy with the marketing of the upcoming DCU movie Superman, which will reboot the iconic superhero with actor David Corenswet taking over the titular role. The film's trailers and promotional material have confirmed that Gunn's take on the character drastically differs from previous iterations. In a recent interview, Gunn walked the press through his approach for crafting the Man of Steel's next big screen outing after Zack Snyder's divisive take on the character. Gunn made the above comment via Omelette, revealing the core question that informed his exploration of the last son of Krypton story in his rebooted DCU. At the same time, Gunn added that his Superman does not take place on our Earth, and that has significant implications for the upcoming movie. Here is how Gunn's take will differ from Snyder's vision. Easily one of the most anticipated blockbusters of this summer, with director James Gunn set to introduce a fresh new rendition of one of the most iconic superheroes. Ahead of the film's release, Gunn sat down for an interview with the Brazilian press. During the conversation, Gunn shed light on various aspects of the David Corenswet-led movie, which updates the titular character after Zack Snyder's take took the hero in a darker and grittier direction. Gunn revealed how he approached the iconic comic book character. Gunn made the following statement, revealing the core conflict the upcoming movie would explore. "I always start my approach by thinking, what if this were real?" Richard Donner's films and Zack Snyder's films also suggest personal stories about Superman. But here the main story is, what is Superman's relationship with himself? In the same conversation, Corenswet shared that the movie takes place on an alternate Earth, something Gunn had already revealed in earlier interviews, via Fandango. However, the actor noted how this allowed the filmmaker to explore what being Superman means in a real sense instead of exploring what it would be like if the character existed in our world. The trailers and promotional material weren't evidence enough. Gunn's comments confirmed that he is taking Superman in a brand new direction. The upcoming movie is expected to be unlike the character's previous big-screen iterations. The same is evident with the film's lighter tone and visual style, both a stark departure from Zack Snyder's vision. Although Gunn consulted Snyder on one key aspect of the new movie, it is clear that the former wants his take on the Man of Steel to feel as different from its predecessor as possible. Gunn's approach to the character is the key focal point in the differentiation between Corenswet and Henry Cavill's version of the iconic superhero. When Snyder helmed 2013's Man of Steel, it was framed as a first-contact story, which explored the real-world implications of a powerful, godlike alien walking among us. Gunn's approach is in stark contrast with Snyder's take on the character, with the DC Studios co-CEO instead focusing on Superman's internal conflict as an alien raised like a human on Earth. Therefore, Gunn's core theme with Superman appears to be self-identity. What do you think of James Gunn's take on Superman? Do you think it will surpass Snyder's vision? Let us know in the comments. The music in James Gunn movies has always been something to marvel at. The director recently revealed his process of picking music for his films. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's reputation as one of the best soundtrack curators in Hollywood is no accident. His films aren't just remembered for their characters and visuals, they're remembered for the songs. Whether it's Peter Quill vibing to Redbone or a perfectly timed Bowie track elevating a scene's emotion, Gunn's music choices feel surgically precise. But what fans may not realize is how much time, energy, and obsession go into curating those playlists. While most directors consider music in the post-production stage, Gunn builds soundtracks into his films from the earliest writing sessions. And now, he's finally revealed the surprising method behind how he keeps his music picks fresh and inspired. In a recent interview on Max's YouTube channel, James Gunn shared that he is a huge fan of music. "I'm pretty obsessive about music." He listens to a lot of music across genres, and there are tools that help him in the process. Gunn revealed that he regularly visits a site called Album of the Year, a platform that catalogs every new album release along with critical and fan reviews. While it's not a streaming service, it serves as his go-to resource to discover highly rated new music across genres. Once something catches his eye, he dives into listening sessions. Since it's impossible to listen to all the music that comes out, Gunn picks from his favorite genres and the highly rated work on the website he mentioned. He also often relies on the recommendations from his brothers, who are just as passionate about music. These exchanges allow Gunn to explore sounds beyond his comfort zone, which eventually influence his storytelling decisions. This obsessive method has been a part of his creative process since the beginning. During the making of the Chris Pratt star, Guardians of the Galaxy, he sifted through hundreds of lesser-known 70s songs, narrowing them down to a set that would form the heart of the film. The final selections were so tightly integrated that they were played live on set, helping actors and crew sync to the rhythm and tone. The result was a soundtrack that felt like an emotional backbone, not just background music. Despite being known for his impeccable playlists, Gunn is making a deliberate shift with the David Corenswet-starrer Superman. Unlike his previous films, this one leans heavily on a traditional score, composed by John Murphy and David Fleming. There are still a couple of songs woven into the film, but Gunn has said this is his first score-heavy project. He believes this approach helped him grow creatively, forcing him to find new ways to shape mood and narrative without relying on the emotional shorthand that needle drops often provide. Even with the score leading the way, Gunn hasn't forgotten the power of legacy. The composer has hinted at incorporating subtle nods to John Williams' original Superman theme, honoring the character's musical past without overdoing it. The trailer even featured a reworked version of the iconic fanfare, suggesting a respectful balance between old and new. What's also notable is what Superman avoids. Gunn reportedly made it clear that overused tracks like Don't Stop Me Now or Kryptonite won't appear in the movie. He's still curating with the same precision, just through a different musical lens. Going forward, Gunn has expressed interest in exploring more projects that lean into original scoring, signaling a potential evolution in his creative playbook. Whether through nostalgic bangers in Guardians or sweeping compositions in Superman, James Gunn's relationship with music is central to his storytelling. The Boys star Jensen Ackles reveals his only condition to reprise Batman role in James Gunn's DCU after previous stint as the DC hero. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Jensen Ackles voiced the role of Batman in several DCAU projects, making him a fan-favorite pick for the Dark Knight role in James Gunn's new DCU. In a recent interview, Ackles opened up about whether he would be interested in taking up the cowl in live action and revealed what type of Batman he'd like to play. The supernatural star has already played a very hyper-masculine superhero in The Boys, but is currently headlining a new series for Amazon Prime Video. While promoting his latest series, Ackles reflected on the calls for him to portray Batman in Gunn's DCU, and here is what the actor had to say about the proposition. To promote the series, Ackles sat down for a conversation with Collider, where he was asked about being a popular fan casting for the DCU's Batman. Ackles admitted he would be ready to take the part if he received a call. However, Ackles admitted that the previous live-action iterations would make it difficult to craft an entirely new take on the iconic Dark Knight character. It would be hard to carve out something truly unique amongst all of the performances